Okay, so I've been making these low polys, and I wanted to make a video just talking about my process of making these. If I look at my high polys over here, I have like all this intersecting geometry and stuff, all these faces that are hidden, um, all these faces that we won't need. Like just thinking about how to UV unwrap this, it becomes a bit complicated. So I just started thinking like, how are we gonna approach like just combining these in? I'm gonna use like knife intersect or intersect boolean. I started using intersect boolean, and it wasn't working very well because there's just an order and a way to the boolean stuff. I I don't know. I took this and I started just boolean stuff in, and it wasn't working out very well. Like I was just taking this, I was trying to boolean that, and then like I'm using the union, but I'm getting just like weird faces. Like it didn't actually boolean it. I was getting this problem. Anyway, I was fighting with these kinds of problems for a long time. And then I decided, maybe I'll need to start over. I'm probably doing this wrong. Let's simplify. So I'm gonna show you my process on how I did this. So these are my high polys. I see this line. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the video, but anyway, distraction. Um, so this is my high poly. And we need to take this into a low poly. So I'll copy this and come over to my low poly, and I've already done it, but for the sake of example, so yeah, I just wanted to talk about some of these, like kind of the rules to follow when I was some lessons learned, I guess. So first off, if we want to simplify this, we want to just take away all this extra geometry that we used, and I didn't do that at first. This is stuff we can add back easily with the dice method. This is hard ups tools. If we just go back out here, mesh tools, and use dice, we can cut that back up if we want, which we'll definitely do. So first, I want to get rid of that. A process I use sometimes is I stick on a decimate modifier, which decimate is usually used for things like, very organic shapes to get to a low poly look, and it gets, it triangulates things while looking at like the overall shape of everything. So that's good for organic things, not particularly for hard surface. Unsubdivide is useful in its own case. I still have to figure out why that's useful. And then there's planar, which is really great. It just takes away any edges that do not, based on an angle limit. So this is perfect. But this is also the same as using, if I just hide this modifier and go into edit mode, select everything, X, limited dissolve, it's the same thing. We even get the same options here too. So I'm pressing F9. So we have a max angle limit right here. We have all boundaries, delimit, delimit. So same function, I guess. If you don't have to do it non-destructively, then use the limited dissolve. And I don't have to do it non-destructively, but whatever. I'll just apply that. All right, so we're starting fresh. And the Booleans, of course, I mean, anyone that has used Booleans, they definitely work much better if you have like closed geometry, so like non-manifold. Or manifold, I guess. Anyway, so we just close that off so it's a solid object now, watertight. And I'm just going to do that with my other objects too. So I have this, and I think that's the only one, just the edges I'd cut off. So, and now for my low poly, I'm going to get rid of these edges. And what we'll do is we'll mirror it over when we're done, since this is symmetrical. Oops, I deselected both of those. All right, so let's just mirror that over. Perfect, and we'll copy and accept. All right, so first things first, we have a couple of problems if we just start booleaning now. We have this shape here, which for one, I mean, maybe I'll just go ahead and show you what happens if I just do this. So intersect Boolean, let's Control F. Actually did an okay job this time. Why did it do an okay job this time and not the others? I don't know. But I do think we are getting like, typically, like sometimes it will not work because, come on. So if you have like a face right up against another face, sometimes it will not like that. And it looks like we're still, yeah, it didn't cut that all the way, so that's not the cleanest method. So tip right there is, you know, we just take things down much more, like we really inset it. Inset it a lot. So just be generous about the insetting. Another thing is we have separate objects that it's trying to union to. So if we take this, we have this object, we have this object, and this object. So we need to do things one at a time. If, like, I don't know, maybe there was a... yeah. Well, this is much cleaner than it was before, but we're still getting problems right here. So, anyway. So the rule I, you know, came to this experience was just hide certain things and Boolean things one at a time. So I'm going to hide that and hide that. And now we have this piece. And we have to make sure it's just running down into the face or into the object. And that looks good. So we'll just do it insert Boolean. So now if we just double check, yeah, we have great topology there and good n-gons. So now we can unhide that. And now we can start pushing in these other shapes. So this is, there's some space, but I've found that if faces are pushed way into it, like drastically, it will do a better job. So also we have the other side of this, which has not been applied. This part of the mirror, so I'll copy the mirror and paste the mirror, or apply, copy and apply. And we'll just go ahead now. This is all part of the mesh. Take this, Control F, and intersect Boolean. And that's looking nice. Okay. Now we can take this and intersect Boolean. That's looking good too. We have this piece which is going into this pillar, so I say pillar because I keep thinking this looks like a structural or a, you know, architectural thing. So we'll just apply Boolean there, and then let's unhide that. Just check that our geometry is running way into it. So it always gets clean results. Sometimes you get, like, I just recorded this, and I had to re-record it because I wasn't sure why. I was taking this piece right here, which is now booleaned, and I didn't change the width of it. Like, it was still poking through, but not much. But it was still like it wasn't doing a correct operation until I moved it all the way in. So, something I learned while recording. So I'm just gonna push that in even more just in case, and Control F, intersect Boolean. And oh, did I? Yes, I did. Never mind. I wasn't sure if I had already Booleaned this object merged, I guess. All right, so then this brings us to the last thing here. Is like, well, what about things like this? We could try doing it like that, but then we get all these, like, you know, just crazy edges and stuff. So you just take it out, and it's poking through. Hopefully it's enough. It looks like it is enough, and had been before. I don't know why it didn't the first time I recorded this, so glad I'm doing it again. But now I can just turn on auto merge in the tools options, auto merge, and just do G, middle mouse, and snap that on there. And now we can get rid of this edge with a Control X, and we're good. So now we can just start unwrapping this. It's a very clean mesh, you know, really easy to unwrap and all that. So anyway, that's what I did, and then I just So we'll just apply, copy and apply one. And then, oops, sorry. And then I took the dice tool and made sure I had the same amount of edges, 59, perfect. And there we are. So we can stick the modifiers back on. I can take that off now and show everything, and now we have our low poly mesh. If I just take the Boolean, or the bevel, sorry, off. Oops, there we go. And there we have our low poly with our weighted normal on. That's stopping everything. That's why, because it's not keeping sharp. There we are. All right, so there it is. Ta-da. Yeah, again, just my own personal blog. It's been good for me to do these things to help me process the experience, I guess. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.